We are the Stop Wearing My Clothes podcast. I'm Amy.
And I'm Kayla.
One
podcast,
two
sisters. This is episode number 29, and we will be doing relationship advice, talking about everything along the sun. We will also have our husband's guest for the Man Vice segment. So, back by popular demand.
And as you see, my wonderful husband has started to renovate the podcast closet. We're definitely not there all the way yet, but we're working on it.
Yes. And so we found out something troubling. I don't know. Amy was troubled
I'm very
this
concerned.
week. Speak on it.
Yeah, this is a public service announcement for all women who have sneaky little rat boys in their life. Seriously, unless you're like Kayla and you don't give a crap. But I like to sniff out those weasels. And so you need to know this. Kayla, you tell them exactly what it is, though, because I don't know how to say it.
All right, guys. I figured this out on TikTok. There is a Instagram account called Puppy Melons. I don't think this is everyday knowledge because I just learned about it. So sorry if this is old news. But what it is, it's Puppy Melons. It is a Instagram page where you go on it and the entire feed is puppies. But then if you look closer, it's a carousel. So you just swipe the puppy and then there's a hot lady.
Yep. So it's for all those nasty boys out there to trick your girls to making you think you love puppies, but instead you're looking at boobs.
Yep. It's like,
and I am concerned.
Because, people like Amy don't let their significant others follow accounts like that. Hey. So it's a way to...
I don't appreciate the don't let. That is not true. I am not my husband's mother. We have conversations and we both come to an agreement that for boundaries are important in relationships. And for some people, that is a boundary. And he respects it. If he didn't respect it and he did it, then that's his own choice and he will suffer the consequences of not having me in his life. But I don't tell him he can't do anything. It's his choice.
All right.
Okay. And we will have a discussion with Jared about this when he gets here because I'm not crazy.
So there's Puppy Melon. So obviously melons for people not watching on YouTube. But then there's a puppy pear. Are you more of a butt guy? Because puppy pears is what you want to do. Same concept except butts.
Why is it not puppy peach?
Is it? No, I think it's pears. But yeah, peach would have been great. Puppy peach, puppy pears, I don't know. But just watch out. All of you girls, go and look to see who your significant other follows. And if you see puppy melons or puppy pears, you got him.
Or if it's a guy you don't know and you're considering talking to, but you want him to have his own moral guidelines, then check for that as well.
Yeah, so this is just information. Use it as you would like. We just needed to share.
No judgment. If you're like Kayla, you encourage your husband to follow. If you
Marcus
were like
follows.
Me, you'll check.
All right, and so we're so excited to dive in. We're going to answer questions, me and Amy, and then bring in the boys.
All right, so now we're going to be doing relationship advice questions. And my first one is, I'm meeting my partner's parents for the first time and I'm super nervous. Any advice?
Flirt with the dad.
Oh gosh. So no, but are you a nervous person in situations like that actually?
Well, the thing is that I met Marcus's parents before we were dating. We were just friends. So it took that pressure off that when we were finally dating, they were like, finally. Because we were friends for a long time. So I never had that experience.
Wow. Okay. Well, I think I met Jared's parents for the first time and we were just friends.
See, it takes off the pressure.
Yeah, for sure it takes off the pressure. Because, I mean, you care what they think, but, not really at the same time. Because it's just, it's not, you're not, formally meeting them. It's more just oh, hey, we're all hanging out. What's up?
Yes. So our advice is to meet the parents when you're in the friend zone. And then make it official afterwards. That's our
Okay, well, that is
advice.
not the case for this person, though, so let's try to think.
Okay.
I would say, like, talk to your partner about their, like, family dynamics, maybe, just so that you aren't walking in blind and there's, like, things you shouldn't talk about, or I don't know, something like that.
Compliments are always good. Specifically, Marcus's mom has like really cute style. Like she's like mom age, but she still like shops at Forever 21 and like wears all these cute like fashionable outfits, which is always kind of fun. Like when I was a little smaller, see, she's smaller than me now. We used to like shop at Forever 21 together. We even bought the same dress one time.
I think I remember that,
I
actually.
think we have a picture. um, so yeah, I mean, I just think you probably already know a little bit about parents if like your partner is close to them, and so just the things that you have in common, those are really good starting points.
Yeah, bragging, talking about, like, things that you guys have done together, like, talking about your relationship and, like, oh, yeah, we went here, and, like, if you have a funny story, or just, like, trying to be as much of yourself as you possibly can.
Which is almost impossible, but try. If you're a very
Yeah.
anxious, nervous person already, I think it's more of just biting the bullet. It's really not going to be as bad as you think. And
Yeah.
just get it over with, and then who knows, that could be your family one day.
Yep.
Maybe that's getting
Alrighty.
way too ahead of yourself, but
Yeah, maybe don't come in hot like that, though. So I'm marrying your
so
son.
do you have any family rings I should know about? Like, all right, I've got like a dating, like out on the dating scene question.
Okay.
Women. So this person's just asking all women. How do you like being approached in a bar? So, going to the bar tonight with a couple of friends. I'd love to meet someone new there, but I never knew how to approach or what to say. If you're with friends, do you want to be bothered by this guy trying to hit on you? Do you even mind, or do you just want to be left alone with your friends? And should I ask you for your number or something else, like Snapchat or Instagram for communicating? I almost never text, and I always use some other messenger. I don't usually go to bars, so I don't really know what to do in this kind of situation. Any help is appreciated. There's so many layers to this question.
Well, and why you chose this question, I don't know, because do we really know the answer?
We can try our best. If we were single, I would love to be bothered by men who adore me. Like, that wouldn't bother me at all. I think you need to read body language. I think you could tell fairly quickly if someone's open to meeting people or they're a little bit more closed off in their group of friends. If they're a group of friends, like talking to people and socializing, get in there, swoop in. What do you think about the communication? I think that's actually a really interesting, because, when I met Marcus, we did phone numbers. Then I think that I already have him on Instagram. I don't know, fun fact, Marcus actually added me on his band had a MySpace page that invited me to like it when I was in 7th grade and he was in 9th. We had never met before. And then I remember clicking on it as a little 13-year-old and being like, that guy with the hair is hot. I remember sitting on the desk of the Alta Vista house. Is that kind of crazy? How it actually, one of my favorite Taylor Swift songs is actually a very like underrated one, I feel like, because it's not one of her hits. It's more of what's called deep tracks, is Invisible String off the Lover album. Do you know which one that is? It's all about this concept, which I don't believe in fate or anything like that. I believe you make decisions and that kind of how your life goes a certain way. But it's the romantic part of it, is that all along there was this invisible string connecting you to me. So even before we were even knew of each other, met, married, we always had this invisible string connecting us. And I don't know, I just think that's kind of cute. And I think little things like that, like even before when we were in utero, both of our parents, Marcus's mom and, we were in utero at different times. But when that happened, before we were even physically born, our moms both named us after a soap opera character that Marcus and Kayla are together in this soap opera character.
I don't think I knew that.
Isn't that cool? So I don't know. It's kind of my song to Marcus is Invisible String by Taylor Swift. Highly recommend. 5 stars.
If someone asked me for my Snapchat, I would think that they wanted naked pictures of me. I don't know why, but that's the vibe I get on Snapchat. It's like this dirty secret place that people go.
Yeah, and it's also just such a younger generation than us. So maybe it's more normal to those people, but I agree. It kind of has that connotation to it.
But I do understand the concept of not giving your phone number. Like, to me, that's normal. I would be fine with giving someone my phone number. But I do understand the concept of doing more like Instagram or Snapchat because you can block them if they end up being a creep.
Also, I think it depends on how often you go out or how much you're searching for the fish in the sea. Because what if you give out 5 people your information throughout a night? You don't want like 5 randos having your personal information. So,
well, and I feel like I'd want them to send me pictures of themselves because I wouldn't remember who they were, which one was which.
That too depends on how intoxicated you're planning on being. Maybe make a list. Or I recommend Instagram. I think that's great. You also get a little bit, you can tell a lot from someone's Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, and DMs, like, and then maybe from there you could give your phone number. Kind of make the decision on if you actually are, like, want to vibe with this person or not.
I was just watching Catfish, and you also have to be careful. And so making sure it's on DMs and not through comments that you give any of your information. Or if someone's, in LA, at least where I am at, people all the time have other people on their accounts helping them with influencer stuff or agents or, stuff like that. So be careful that when the numbers are exchanged, that it's actually the person you want to's phone number and not like their social media manager or something, or their brother who helps them out with his Instagram.
I've never thought about that. I could be a creep in people's Instagrams if I wanted to.
You could have. You could. So it's something to note. Do your due diligence.
Okay, and what I wanted to comment on is what you said, it's like body language, which I agree but I feel like it's like once you approach them, consider their body language. But like, I'm more of a shy person and I might not be a super approachable person at a bar, even like when I was single and stuff. And people always say I'm intimidating, which I truly do not understand, and I will never understand that. I don't know if it's just because I'm tall or what, but people say that to me and I'm like, I don't want to be seen that way. So if I am, like, or if someone else is that way, that doesn't mean they shouldn't be approached. But maybe once you approach them, then like read the situation. But if someone walked up to me and said you're really pretty, like, well, how do you go about it though?
I think you're very standoffish with new people.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean, well, I guess I got lucky that I was I think friends first is really what only works with me because I'm so nervous around people. But there are other people and they deserve to have love. So how do you approach someone that is standoffish then?
Yeah, see, the thing is with me is how I flirt is being mean. So when I I just feel like I love Marcus so much in the moment, I'll usually call him an idiot or stupid. And that's usually, he knows that's my meanness is my love language. And so he knows like, wow, this girl's digging me. So if someone doesn't know that about me, I've been told, like, I went to Vegas with my friends like forever ago, the death trip. So the one we don't talk about. But I was always told throughout the whole thing, like, you're so mean to these guys. I was apparently pushing them away. But no, I was flirting. I was flirting hardcore and they were not catching my vibe. Maybe I was with Marcus, but Marcus doesn't care. I think we gave some sound advice and some good discussion points. So we gave them a good start.
All right.
Get some. What else you got?
All right. I'm in a long-term relationship and it feels like my partner never makes time for me anymore.
Long-term relationships are hard.
Yeah. Gotta keep... Okay, this is what I say. I actually heard this the other day from an influencer, and I really, really like this. Oh, wait, how did she word it? Darn it, it was so good. Basically, though, like, if you're not doing anything, then you're gonna fail. You always need to be doing... Oh, shoot.
Like an action? Sound good. Yeah, look for it. You can if you want.
Okay, I can't find it. But basically, like, you need to be actively pursuing your partner, I feel like, at all times. Like, if you're not choosing to make your relationship better, then most likely, like, you're going to turn around and you're going to be drifted apart and not even realize what happened. That type of situation.
Sure. Yeah, I think balance is really important. So I think having that separate hobbies and separate time apart can be a really good thing in like moderation. And like
Mhm.
me having this podcast and Marcus having his kind of golf hobby, I think it's like both things that we're really passionate about, enjoy, and we can support each other in it, but I make Marcus sometimes, but we don't necessarily have to be involved with
Mhm.
that thing. And that's probably our one thing that we don't do together. Everything else, like we kind of do. So just making sure you have that separateness and your own identity, but making sure you still have the right balance of doing things together as well.
Yeah, and so this person is feeling that the other person maybe is pulling away or not putting in the effort. Maybe just having a conversation and being like, this is how that makes me feel. And this is what I want to do moving forward. So maybe you do have a weekly date night, or you do, and like you take turns planning it, or you find a hobby that you enjoy together too. That could be
Yeah,
something.
I think it's time to say it. It's
It's all
all
about
about communication.
communication. That was bad.
We'll get better at talking in unison and harmonizing our words. All right. What slang word are you happiest when out of style? Just a fun question I wanted to talk about. I have one if you want to think while I do it.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, I want to say it was like ninth grade or ninth or 10th grade, like first half of high school. And everyone used to say boss. Like, you're so boss, man. Or boss up. Like, oh, that shake is so boss. And now it's just the mean person in charge. And I remember like just I use boss a lot and I miss it.
You did? I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
I don't know, it was like a little thing with one of my little friend group, and that's just something that we latched onto, and we said, "Oh, it's so boss," once we liked something.
Okay, mine is something that I hated when it happened, so I'm happy that it went away. At least I hope it went away. Hella.
Oh, I hate
I
hella.
hate hella.
I hate it
It's the stupidest word. It just makes you sound like an idiot.
with a
Straight
fiery
up.
passion. So you know how
Yeah.
low-rise jeans are coming back in style? First of all, the bane of my existence. So you know how in 2000s it's the low rise, and then you had like the thong, and it was like whale tail. You put the thong up higher than your pants, and you have like a crop top. You know that look?
Yeah, you did that?
No, that's not where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Okay, so the low rise is coming back, but what is happening instead of the separate, like your own thong you do that with, they have extra pieces built in the pants to look like it's like a whale tail.
Oh, Lord.
I've been like doing some shopping on like ASOS, Nasty Gal, Target, and all that, and I'm starting to see
I'm
like
worried.
a bunch of those. I'll post a picture of what I'm talking about, but it's something.
Oh, my dear Lord. Some fashion just needs to stay away.
I know.
I'm high-rise jeans for life.
I love them so much. It's just like more flattering on me. It makes my butt look good. I love high rise.
Me too. And you never have to worry about showing your butt crack.
That's another great one. Yep.
Yep.
Do you have another question?
My friend is starting to back away and not be as close as we once were, but I really want to stay close. How should I handle it?
That's a tough one. I think it's hard to know of like when you need to hold on and maybe when you need to let go a little bit. Like you don't really want anyone in your life who doesn't want to be in yours. But let's say it's a situation where, I don't know, did something happen in their life? Did something happen between you guys? Is there an actual problem? Or is it just like this floating away? I don't know. Help me out here.
Yeah, and like, is it something that you've talked about and then like asked for more and they are saying no, or are they giving you reasoning for it, or have you not? Another thing could be communication. Just talk about it and figure out what's going on so that then you can make your decision, because if it is something in their life that maybe you don't know about or you do know about but you're taking it personally or whatever, then you can just like kind of change the way you're thinking about it and maybe not be as offended or hurt by the fact that they're not being around you as often. But also I feel like if you're putting in continual effort and you're not feeling anything in return, you don't necessarily need to be like, you're not my friend anymore, but you also can just take a step back and just maybe focus more on other relationships in your life.
So something I want to talk about kind of when it comes to that is I think it's really interesting, also probably generational, of like how you best communicate and how you think text versus in real life versus calls, and now voice messages is like a thing. Like, do you think you could have a positive interaction, discussion, communication through text message?
I think it can be really hard because you don't know tone. And it's so easy to take something the wrong way and get offended and turn it, the conversation can go negative so quick.
Yeah, I think it just depends on, sometimes I need that armor of text to be like brave.
Mhm.
You know, I know that
Yeah.
sounds silly, but like either I'm really terrified of the conversation, or I'm afraid I'm going to get walked all over. And so this is the only way that I could communicate and hold my ground.
That's what I was just going to say is I have a really hard time in real life. People like talk me out of how I feel. And then when the conversation's over and I'm alone, I'm like, no, that's not how I feel. How did they trick me into being okay with that and agreeing to feeling that way when that's not how I feel at all? But then at the same time, sometimes it's hard to feel, if you are trying to solve a problem, it's hard to feel true resolve when you didn't have that face-to-face communication, because you don't know if they even took what you were saying seriously, or if they were just like texting while they were doing something else and not even fully being engaged in the conversation. Like, you really don't know what you're getting out of it, I guess.
For sure.
And then also the next time you see each other, you're like, okay, are we actually fine now or what?
Yeah, the thing is,
I talk about it. Do we not?
I feel like I can also be in that braveness. I can be a little mean. You know, I can be a little extra harsh because in real person, I'm not brave enough to do that. Like, I can't be mean to people. I don't in person. Like, I go out of my way to, like, even if other people in the room are like mad at each other, I'm the person who like is making a joke and trying to make light of something so it's not awkward, like stuff like that. But when it comes to at least Marcus, or really I just cry. I can't say words. I just sit there and cry, and that's the only way that I know how to communicate anything serious or important. And it's hard. Like, I wish I could communicate thoughts and what I think like I do in text in real life, but I just personally can't. And I feel like maybe a lot of people can't.
Well, I think it's because we haven't been fully trained to, because we've had text to rely on for most of our life.
But before that, don't you think people like wrote each other notes or letters? Like, there's always been some type of form of it.
That's true. That is true. But I bet there was more conflict resolution, like positive growth conversations in real life versus, like you were saying, with text message or Instagram and stuff. And even the generation after us is even worse. Like, I think that people are mean. And instead of going into a conversation trying to solve the problem, they are going in to attack the other person to tell them what they're doing wrong, instead of like trying to come to an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't and just because it's over text message doesn't mean you can't, like, it still counts and you can't take that back.
If anything, it counts more. It could be printed out. It could be in the phone records.
They could read back over it multiple times and realize, because like in a moment, maybe you say something and then someone just forgets.
Yeah, when you get famous, they could leak it. I think about that all the time, of when I get famous, what's going to get leaked. I'm a little worried.
I have a question. Do you think that Snapchat has a database of all? Because I just feel like there's got to be naked pictures all. And do you think that they have like a porn site that people can look it up and like get Snapchat?
I don't know if Snapchat would be. I think there's probably people that have done that, but I don't think the actual organization of Snapchat. No. But I think it definitely.
But you think they have every single thing that was ever said?
Probably. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
I know. So many boobs.
I had someone send me an unsolicited dick pic through Snapchat, and I don't think I even knew who it was.
Really?
It was just random. I opened it up, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?"
Oh my!
I did not.
Something really exciting happened to me, and I think it's because of my red hair. Men are flocking to me. So on my, so I posted a new selfie because I'm really into myself right now. I got a sugar daddy request. So I just,
Oh yeah, I get those
yeah,
all the time.
and I was so excited. I called Marcus right away. He was happy for me. And
You know, I really do. You think they're always fake? Because I'm kind of down. I'll send you pictures of my feet
well, this
if
guy,
you
his
pay me money.
profile picture was like his face with a bunch of $100 bills.
Yeah, but it's got to be fake, right? They don't actually pay you.
No, it's a thing. There's sugar.
Well, what do you have to do? Why would you not
100%
do it then?
sugar babies in LA make bank.
And what do you have to do though? Do you have to actually physically do things,
No.
or can you just send pictures?
I mean, it depends. You have there's apps and stuff like this, like Tinder, but specifically for sugar babies and sugar daddies. And so that you could go on there and say, hey, I am looking for, a non-physical relationship. I could, you could talk to me over text. You can show me off. I'll wear nice dresses when we go out to dinner and stuff like that. But no physical interaction. And I mean, you get paid bank. And then even.
So you still have to go out with them though?
Yeah, you have to go out and like public. I mean, you can literally make it however you want, and there's certain people who are into different things. So and sometimes it's not even like, oh, I'll give you this a month. Sometimes it's like, I'll do that, and then I don't know, for going out to dinner with me, for your dress was so pretty, I'm gonna give you a Balenciaga bag. I don't know, do they make bags? I probably should know, but.
I'm disturbed by that.
It's a thing. Yeah. So this is like, there's lots of, I'm sure lots of more like Instagram accounts with, my Instagram's not provocative in any like shape or form, but try to think I'm in it with just my red hair selfie. So who knows?
Yeah, I have a baby and a husband that I post about often, and I have still gotten them.
Oh yeah, people are into that.
People are weird.
Okay. I have one more. Do you bring a friend when asked out for drinks? So I've been casually texting this guy, and he asked if I would want to get a few drinks with him this weekend, which I agreed to. We're supposed to go to a place he goes to a decent amount, so he'll clearly know people there. My question is, do I bring a friend with me, or is that weird? I don't mind going alone, and the chances are I'll probably know a few people there, but this is our first time ever meeting in person. I don't want it to be weird if I show up with someone, but I also don't want it to be weird if things don't go well, and then I'm kind of there by myself, LOL. What would you all do in this situation?
Don't bring a friend.
You think?
Unless you want it to be friend vibes, or like make sure he knows you're bringing a friend, because I think that makes it seem like, I don't know. Have you ever watched Something Borrowed with Kate Hudson and that other girl?
It's been a while, but yes, I really liked that movie.
Okay, so she goes out on a date. Well, she's not sure if it's a date, but she really likes this guy from her law school, and they're sitting there vibing, having a good time, and then all of a sudden Kate Hudson shows up. It's like, oh, is this a date? Like, what is this? And then anyways, they end up getting together. So I just feel like it almost makes it like you're kind of saying it's not a date because you brought your friend. Which if you don't...
The difference is she already knows he's a real person and not a threat because they have law school class together. This person is the first time they're meeting in real life, which I'm assuming they met on the internet. I don't think it's too out of the realm. Yes, communicate it, but I don't think it's out of the realm possibility to say, hey, since we haven't met before, I just feel more comfortable bringing your friend. Do you mind if we, for our first time hanging out, like I bring my buddy? She's cool.
Yeah, or like for the first time hanging out, we make it a group thing.
Yeah, as long as it's just very obvious, because they probably don't know that person, that it's not a threesome ask. That would be what I would be worried about, that the guy would automatically assume that we're down to clown.
I would just make sure to communicate it, because I feel like if I thought that I was asking a girl out on a date and I was excited about it and then she showed up with her friend, I would be like, oh, was that not what this is then?
Yeah. So it's all about
communication. Have you ever been asked to have a threesome?
No, I haven't.
Oh, well, I will tell you a story. Me and Sierra used to go hang out with like guys me and Sierra were like not a couple.
We're just like a pair. Guys were.
Yeah, like when people asked us to hang out, like they kind of knew it was always going to be both of us. It was pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So we had these different friend groups that we would hang out with, girls and guys, like whatever. And then one time we were supposed to go hang out as a group, but this guy was like, oh, you guys want to come with me to go there? And so we're like, oh yeah, sure. So we get in the car with him and he's going to take us there. And he just drives past where we're supposed to go. And we're like, what the crap? And he's like, he went to our high school. Like he wasn't
not a murderer.
A weirdo. I mean, I guess that still could.
Sure.
We didn't think it was that weird in the moment, but we could have beat him up.
That was before true crime really made its rounds.
Yeah, but anyways, he drove past and we're like, okay, aren't we going there? And he was like, oh yeah, let's just go for a drive first. We're like, okay, whatever. Because we've driven around, like listening to music, like whatever. So we're like, okay, sure. He drives up to this place and parks, and we're just like hanging out at that point, just talking and like, okay, this kind of weird that we're not, and like, because we kind of kept saying like, okay, are you ready to go? No. Then he acted like that was gonna happen, and we thought he was kidding, so we laughed like really hard, and then we looked at him, and he looked like his feelings were so hurt. But why did he think
You've
that?
got to communicate in those situations.
Well, but you can't assume that two girls that have hung out with groups, like
no, he needed to.
Well, I think he was kind of asking.
So he like just straight up asked?
Because, well, it was like in a roundabout way, yes. And we were like, we thought he was kidding though, because like that is so like that to me. To us, that was so like
out of the realm
funny.
of possibility.
Like, no.
Yeah.
Yes, like why would you even think that would ever happen? So we like Peter Pan's laughing, and then we looked over and he wasn't laughing. And then it got really awkward. Like, okay, can we go now? And then we did, but I was just
guys are weird.
You can't do that. You can't like at least make it like seem like we were only all three gonna hang out, but that was never even. It was like he was trying to trick us into hanging out with them alone, and then it was weird. It was real weird.
I mean, good thing he wasn't a strong or like bad guy, because you put yourself in a bad situation. Yeah. I've learned so much.
Well, yeah, but we had hung out with. I know that's true though. Of course, that's true. But we'd like hung out with him multiple times, like with groups of people, and he's. I mean, I think he still is normal. I don't know. And he wasn't coming at us. It was just more like literally just asking. But I'm just like, dude, we're in high school too. Like, we're not wild girls. Yeah. Like, what? No, like, I don't have that reputation at all.
So funny.
Okay, and on that note, next we will have Man Vice. Welcome to the segment, Man Vice.
Can I do it one more time my way?
Yeah.
I'm glad you added that in there.
Oh my gosh.
All right, we are joined by our reproductive counterparts, husbands Jared and Marcus. Hey, what do you got for us, Jared? How are you feeling?
Ooh, okay, right off the bat. Feeling good. We have this newly installed wallpaper back here, so whoever is viewing this, check out the wallpaper. Just got started on it. There's a little more work to do. I would appreciate your feedback, your positive feedback, because, well, I'll just leave it at that.
He's very excited about it. Leave comments about the wallpaper. All right, so we've got some questions, and we've already answered some as women, goddesses, may I say. And now we need some from the men. Does going to a guy's apartment mean that you're interested? I went to a guy friend's apartment after we had lunch together, and he tried to kiss me. I felt uncomfortable and said that I didn't want to do that, and he seemed so confused. He thought I liked when we never flirted. That sentence makes no sense. I always saw him as just a friend. So, question. Does going to a guy's apartment mean that you're interested?
First off, I feel bad for that dude. He got put in the friend zone real fast. I don't know, because I want to say no. I mean, you should be able to go hang out with someone you like hanging out with. where they live or whatever, and
women should feel safe.
Exactly, not be like, oh, well, now this is a sign that we're taken to the next level.
But then also at the same time, were you hanging out as friends, or like did they invite you to like a lunch date and they thought it was gonna? I mean, I'm not saying that they needed to do more or anything like that, but like, was she sending him mixed signals? Mm-hmm. Just because she wasn't flirting didn't mean he wasn't. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
The thing is, it was I don't know, just knowing that it was a lunch. If it was a dinner, I think I'd feel completely different about this question.
Oh yeah, if you go home after a dinner, bound chicken, wow.
Exactly. But a lunch in the midday?
Yeah.
You know the term afternoon delight?
Or a nooner?
I feel like it's not the apartment though. It's the other signal. It's the other like lunch or dinner or other flirty relationships, not the apartment.
This is what I want to know. Who paid for that lunch?
Ooh.
If she let him pay, that's a signal.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to go over to the apartment afterward. Might be a kiss-worthy occasion.
Yeah, but even if you go over to the apartment, doesn't mean you have to kiss or want any of that. But I feel like...
But it is a sign in the more romantic road versus the friendship road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Going to an intimate place where only you are at.
Yes.
That's a tough one.
Okay, next one.
I love how we kind of like half answer all of these questions.
Yeah, there's no real answer. We just talk about it.
Something else, and then okay, moving on.
So the answer is no. You don't have to kiss him, but yes, if
you should have been more clear.
Yeah.
From the beginning,
your intention should be clear.
Yeah, you got yourself into that situation, so.
I've asked my partner to change a couple things about his behavior, like how he parties a lot, but he hasn't stopped any of them. I know he really loves me, so why won't he change?
I'm gonna let the guys take that one.
That's a deep one right there. Man, I really feel like guys aren't going to change until they're ready to change. That's the sad truth of it. Doesn't matter how much love you give them or how much love they're giving you. Maybe like that verbal reassurance of, yeah, babe, I'm not gonna party for the rest of the month, whatever. And then they go and do it anyway. That's a sign that they don't want to change. So I don't know how you change someone who doesn't want to change. I don't know if you can.
One word: ultimatum. Stop partying or I'm out.
Seriously,
this is one way of doing it, but it could also backfire, or like stop the relationship, or
yeah. But don't you think if it's the right relationship, the person wouldn't risk losing the other?
Yeah, or the timing's a part of it too.
Or maybe it has to go too far to like make it, impact or make it stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, like rolling around in your own vomit.
It reminds me. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it's The Office or what show it is, but it's just like, oh no, it was Michael when they did the intervention with Meredith, and she's and she won't do it because she hasn't hit rock bottom. She's like, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure she hits rock bottom.
Maybe that's what you should do.
That's how you change.
So, just push until the rock bottom starts. That's my answer.
Yeah, just keep handing him shots. Oh, you say you want to party? Here you go.
Yeah,
there we go. Yeah, just categorically ruin every alcohol for them. Because, when you have like that really bad experience with one alcohol and like, oh, I don't do tequila anymore. You just have to have him have those experiences with every single type of alcohol.
Yeah, so only bring him to the brink of death, though. Because...
I have a parenting one because we have parents here.
Woo-hoo.
And this is for parents of toddlers 1 to 3. Just happened to be a half. Well, yeah, all our babies are older than that. Okay. How do you keep your child from spitting their drinks on the floor? I have a 2-year-old consistently spit her drink out on the floor to play in it. I'm so tired of having to clean up the carpet from a sticky mess of her milk, and then she throws a fit because her cup is empty. I've tried talking about it with her, and I get her to clean up the mess, but the hardwood floor, but I can't get her to stop. I know she's only 2. She's trying to push boundaries. I'm at my wit's end, though. Do I take her cup and only give it to her at different times? I feel bad doing that because I have water with me everywhere I go.
Give her a spill-proof cup so she can't get There's like these. There's these little.
Done. Case
But
closed.
she's spitting her drink,
But
not spilling
exactly,
it.
not really. She's
Spitting.
she's drinking it and then spitting it out. So
that's
kids
disgusting.
will find a way.
That's true.
I don't know. We're not fully into that stage yet with Jack. He's a year and a half right now, but he is getting those behaviors. He's like pulling food out of his mouth and dropping that on the floor. And I don't know how you stop that. I think that's just what they do around that age. I mean, her idea of maybe limiting her access to having liquids, I mean, that will help you. That'll help your sanity. And I think the kid will be fine. They're not going to be like, oh, now mom gets water and I don't. But that'll create less of a mess.
I have
Other
a
than that,
solution.
I think
Take
it's
ice
basic.
cubes, cut them up into little like Cheerio sizes, and then that's how they'll get the hydration. It's like a
Yeah, I mean, also don't draw too much attention to it because it might just be a phase that it will pass. But the more attention you give for it, it can make it worse
Mm-hmm.
and make it like, oh, I get attention when I do this. I'm going to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what, guys?
What?
My cat projectile vomited all over the front of me this week.
Oh my gosh. What happened?
That's what happened.
He vomited on me. Literally from across, right here where I'm sitting, from the desk all the way down the front of me. But I'm okay.
Okay. I have, I'm going to say a word and I want to see Jared's reaction.
Mm,
You ready?
no.
Puppy melons.
Puppy melons? I don't really know. I mean, like the
Okay,
first thing is
I've got
really-
one more.
No, tell him he's saying what he thinks
Oh,
about
what?
it. Go.
Yeah. The first thing that popped in my head was puppies and then cantaloupes next to them. Puppy melons.
I mean, pretty much.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, go ahead. Say your next word.
All right. Does this mean anything to you? Puppy pears.
Okay, I kind of thought, so I thought the same thing, same category, puppy and then pears, but then all of a sudden it was like dog balls.
What?
Pear. Puppy pears.
I thought you had it. I thought like it was about to come out, and then just turn to something else.
No, my brain was like, no, that's too original. You just did that with melons.
Marcus is
Puppy
gonna
pears,
explain.
you're talking about something else.
Marcus is gonna explain what it is.
So there's social media accounts. I think it's Instagram. I don't know anything else, but it's it looks like just dog photos, but they always post multiple photos. And the extra
Carousel.
photos, the carousel, is a bunch of just like hot women in like bikinis and
In their
stuff.
boobs.
But it looks so innocent. So if like a guy was scrolling through his Instagram, it just looks like he's looking through puppies.
So like when they're
That's
you
so
know
stupid.
to swipe, but the girlfriend wouldn't if she was looking at your phone.
That's ridiculous.
That's what I want to know, you sneaky little devil. I had to check on you.
No.
Yeah, we already checked on you earlier today. I checked Marcus's
that's
too,
good.
and he's following.
He is?
Yes.
Well, she made him, I think.
Yeah, I
you
was
made
gonna
me
say.
follow. This is the
Do you
context.
hate it?
I'm also just look at the puppies, to be honest.
I have not heard of that. I have no idea.
Yeah, I did a PSA and I told all the girls so that we can catch the rats.
Nice. I'm over here looking at dog balls.
All right. I've actually given this question ahead of time to both Jared and Marcus, so they could have a very thought out answer. And because of that extra time, I'm expecting a very thought out answer.
Okay.
Who is a celebrity everyone loves except for you? And why?
I have a good one. I know it's I'm not really into Bill Murray, but I feel like he's like someone that's really people really like Bill Murray, but I just think it's not always that funny.
That's not
I know. I thought of a really tough one where people would really like. And I mean, I completely dislike him, but I just don't think that he lives up to the hype.
We might lose followers because of this, guys. Right,
Oh,
tell us
yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Adam Sandler.
Hmm.
Or do not a lot of people like him? I feel like they do. don't think he's that funny. I wouldn't choose to watch a movie of his.
Same. Like, I liked The Wedding Singer.
They're good movies, like whatever, but he's not.
Same. And almost like, I feel like this with a movie, 50 First Dates, I feel like is like a lot of people's favorite movies.
Mhm.
I don't like it.
That's actually one of his better ones, I would say. But
Yeah.
yeah.
The first person that came into my mind when you asked the question was Kim Kardashian. I don't know why, but that's just always like I'm not a fan of the Kardashians.
I love them. I love them so
I know.
much.
I know. I don't know. It's just like.
Are you intimidated by strong women?
No, it has nothing to do with them being women. It has more to do with they're overrated, in my opinion. And maybe at this point, like, they have a lot of like credit because they've got a lot going on, but like the initial stage of it all, I just remember thinking like everything was so superficial. And the reality TV show that they had was just like who would watch that? I would never watch that.
They are underrated. They did something before anyone else did. They are the original influencer. They are so smart and business people and creating a personal brand that makes them millions and millions of dollars. I think they are pioneers. I think they are heroes, and they're beautiful. And actually, I would like to say something because I'm getting kind of pissed off that everyone is making fun of Kanye West and making this whole Kim and Kanye thing like a joke when it's actually truly terrifying and we're watching someone harass their ex-wife. And I just think people should take a more serious look at it. And it actually like troubles me. So that's my 2 cents about the whole Kanye thing, because that's all I see every day.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed your advice from these hot fellas.
Ooh.
Oh. Please make sure to send us an email with your relationship questions and any hot takes. Stop wearing my clothes podcast at gmail.com.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Pinterest, Reddit, but really just follow us on Instagram and TikTok because that's really where we're at.
Yeah, mostly TikTok. It's my baby.
Give us a review on Apple Podcast.
And then I think what do we got coming next? So this is relationship advice. And so this Wednesday, we are going to have another Bachelor recap. And
we're getting to the nitty gritty of the season, and I'm pumped.
Yeah, next week I have a good feeling. It's going to be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Smell you later.